Hi, this video will demonstrate how you can create lip sync for two characters from one audio file. Now, the quickest and easiest way to get a recording of dialogue between two characters is if you have a friend who will record with you. And in that case, then you can just sit down in front of the computer and then you would go to Window Audio Recording. You could use the internal audio recorder in Moho. You can record the conversation and then perhaps pitch shift it if you want to, and then click the Add to Project button, and you'll be all set with your audio file for that part of the project. Now, I didn't do that. The audio that I'm going to show you right now, I actually just recorded in another editor. I pitch shifted for two different parts so that the voices would sound a little bit different, and I am going to show that later on. But for now, I'm going to close this recording window. So here is my recording that I imported into the Layers palette, and I'm going to double click on that right now. And let me move this over. Click on the Audio tab up here and remind you that you probably want to uncheck spatial positioning. And if you need to change your audio level, higher or lower, you can do that in here. Remember that if you need it lower, you can use decimal numbers like 0.5, 0.25, whatever you may need. I'm going to just put this back to a 1 right now, and I'll click OK. So I have my recorded conversation here. Two voices, one audio file. Now let's look at a couple of different ways that we can get the mouth poses going for each character. One way is to just do it manually. And let me show you what I mean. I will look for Lucy's mouth switch folder. Here it is right here. I would start scrubbing across the timeline and listen for when I hear the first part for Lucy. So right here is when she first starts speaking. I can scrub across slowly, back and forth. I can use the play button, whatever combination, to get a sense of what she's saying and what her mouth poses should be throughout the course. So right here, she's saying you need involvement. Watch how I go through this process. So you see that I went back and forth, checking out what sounds that I could hear, and then choosing that pose from the switch folder. So I had a U, E, the ECT, rest, the FV, the AI, the L, the MBP, and the ECT. So you could go to each character's mouth switch folder, and you could go through that process and create the mouth movements in that way. Now let me delete these keyframes and I'll show you another way. I'm just clicking and dragging across here, selecting all of these keyframe dashes and hitting the delete key on my keyboard. And then I should go back to frame 0, hit enter. And now I'll go over here to the Layers palette and double click on the Lucy's mouth switch folder. And up here, click on the tab for switch. And under Select Audio Sync Source, click the drop down and choose the one that is the voices. And then click OK. Now it applied mouth poses to the entire audio file, which means both characters' parts. So all I need to do now is go through, scrub back and forth, find the parts that are not Lucy, and just click and drag and select and delete those keyframe dashes so that she isn't speaking through the whole thing. So watch just this first little part here.
Actually, Lucy, my trouble is Christmas. I just don't understand it.
That was obviously Charlie Brown, this whole part. So I can go in here, click drag, select all of those, push the delete key on my keyboard, and there won't be any more movement on her mouth.
Actually, Lucy, my trouble is Christmas. I just don't understand.
So I would just continue through and select the chunks that are not her speaking. And I know that I believe this is where she first starts right here.
You need involvement.
Right. So all of this, I need to click, drag, pull across, and delete those two. And then I can click here. This is, well, actually, let me click back a little ways. This is the Charlie Brown part, and then Lucy starts talking. So watch this. Watch her mouth.
I feel sort of let down.
You need involvement.
Okay? And so that's all you need to do is just keep going through and checking it out and getting rid of any mouth movements when it's not her voice. When you're done with that, all you need to do is go find your other character's mouth switch folder. And actually, I should go back to frame 0 just to be on the safe side. I'll go here and I'll double click on the mouth switch folder. Click on the switch tab. Click the drop down. Click the choose the audio file with the voices. Click OK. Again, same thing, except that now I need to remove the chunks, the keyframe dashes and dots for when it is Lucy supposed to be speaking, right? This was Lucy's first part right here. We don't want to see Charlie Brown's mouth moving, do we?
You need involvement. You need to get involved in some real.
So I would just click, drag, pull across. I've selected those, hit delete, and that way this part, he would not be speaking, she would.
You need involvement. You need to get involved in some real.
All right, but prior to that, his first part there, you will see his mouth moving.
Actually, Lucy, my trouble is Christmas. I just don't understand it. Instead of feeling happy, I feel sort of let down.
You need involvement.
So that's really pretty simple. All you need to do is apply that same audio file to the two different mouth switch folders for your character, and then just go through and delete the little chunks there where that character should not be moving its mouth. Now I realize that for this tutorial, when it's recorded, the actual syncing of the audio and the mouths doesn't really look that great, but I think you get the point. It's the method that's important, not actually what you were seeing on screen. There's more to cover on lip sync, and I'm going to do that in the next video.